Three of Saber Mobiles came out several weeks ago and I had the opportunity to play the game. Surprisingly, the game is really fun. It feels exactly like the first release of Three of Saber PC back in 2016. There's a lot of content available with simplified gameplay and mechanic. If you played Three of Saber on PC before, you are likely to have better times on the mobile version. Also, you can play the game right now without VPNs. All you have to do is download the official PC clients from MMORPG site. The game is in Korean with no English option, so you might have to find a way to translate a few things for the Korean version. Luckily, you can use websites like Yandex Translation, which allow you to translate images into different languages. The game has 5 base classes just like the PC version. We have Swordsman, Archer, Wizard, Cleric, and Scouts. All the base classes come with 3 advanced classes. Swordsman has Highlander, Peltaster, and Mamilos. Archer has Merchants, Ranger, and Fletcher. Wizard has Elementalist, Pyromancer, and Cryomancer. Cleric has Paladins, Inquisitor, and Plague Doctor. Lastly, for Scouts, we have Shinobi, Assassin, and Rogue. Each class is very unique and they play a very specific role in all type of content. The game has a very generic modern MMORPG styles with tank, DPS, and healers. Each class will have their own unique skills and passives. The skill upgrade system is very similar to the PC version. You need an upgrade material to unlock the skill attributes, and each upgrade will either make the skill stronger or unlock special effects that completely change the gameplay experience. One of the best examples would be the Swordsman ground attack skill. If you unlock the attribute with golden borders, it will change the skill into a powerful ranged attack. Not to mention that there are combination skills that players can perform to maximize out their damage. This is probably one of the most interesting ways to implement multiple skills in one class. Players can activate different skill combinations with just 6 different buttons instead of having a bunch of hotkeys, or they switch tab to use all the skills. In addition, certain skill combinations do require players to unlock attributes. For example, Plague Doctor has a poison smite attack. Players cannot use this ability until they unlock higher ranked attributes. The game do offer a lot of different options for players to customize their character, which including weapons, armor, and cosmetics. I'm actually pretty surprised for this one, by the way. It's because players can obtain almost every single cosmetic available in the game through the field content, such as the field bosses, protecting the goddess statue, or surviving multiple waves of monster. Once you obtain your cosmetics, it will gray out the items from the cosmetic shop, letting you know that you already have this item and there are no reason to buy it again. The housing system is rather interesting on the mobile version because players can upgrade the furniture to gain additional status. Player can also unlock a small piece of land which allow them to grow crops and animals for dairy products, meat, and vegetables, which player can use these items later on for the cooking system. Now, for the cooking item, these are pretty straightforward, by the way. Certain cooking items give you a little bit of power boost or regeneration up to 10 minutes. It's actually pretty useful if you plan on fighting field bosses or running endgame dungeon. There's also the expedition system that requires these materials as well, since it allows you to send your gadget or mercenary units on the expeditions, which give them a ton of EXP and several useful items. One of the most interesting things about the housing system on the mobile version is that players can also purchase additional floor, which allow them to decorate their main floor and then put the additional furniture into the other floor for the extra status purposes. One of my favorite features about the housing system is the weapon and armor furniture. These furnitures allow players to display equipment and offer players additional status like extra attack and defense. This feature is actually pretty useful, by the way, since it gives players an upper hand to tackle the bosses and dungeons for the episode questline progression. Onto the equipment system, we have the main and secondary weapon, 4 pieces of armor, 2 bracelets, and 1 necklace. Each equipment will have a random status, which player can also reroll these status from the upgrade menus. Now, the upgrade system is very similar to the PC version. Player can use the unveil to upgrade equipment, and the equipment lose 1 potential every time players fail to upgrade. Eventually, you cannot unveil the item anymore at 0 potential. However, 3 of Saber Mobile adopt the level upgrade system from Spirit Wish, which is where players can feed the upgrade materials or weapon and armor until the equipment is at max levels. In addition to that, player can also expand the item level cast by feeding the duplicated armor or equipments. Now, there are certain types of special gears that player can obtain through the raid dungeon. These gears cannot be upgraded or unveiled, but they come with a special status and higher base status. To make it short, the progression system on the mobile version doesn't feel very complicated since player can obtain almost every single crafting material through the field content. For the most part, the early, mid, and endgame progression heavily relies on the crafting system. Next up, we have the dungeon system. Players have 2 entries for each dungeon and it resets daily. However, the most interesting thing about the dungeon system is actually the key dungeon, which allow players to obtain the keys for all the dungeon. The key dungeon require a very specific golden key, which player can purchase the key from the in-game shop, clearing the daily quest, or farming it through the field content, which also explains why I have over 101 keys so far. So basically, you are not really limited to 2 run a days for the dungeon. Next up, we have the gadget system. This is where players can obtain different quality of class master and companions. Each class master does have a certain amount of stamina and it reset daily. Player can also restore this stamina with class master voucher. I don't think this is necessarily required since the gadget unit aren't really mandatory required for the game itself besides the PvP content. And speaking of the PvP content, it's kind of bland to be honest for this one because everything is automated and the gadget unit does play a huge role in this type of content. You will see players with 5-star unit destroying your whole team. However, players can also farm the gadget voucher through the field bosses and field farming content. One thing I do want to mention about this game is that you will spend a lot of times auto grinding in the field content, and this is because of the current game monetization. It's very transparent between players who spend a lot of money into the game and who invest their time into grinding. The game offers a lot of ways for players to earn in-game currency, but at the same time, the field content also reward players for investing their time in farming items and materials as well as killing field bosses. As of right now, we don't have a confirmed date for global release, but I'm actually very excited and I'm looking forward to it because I've been waiting for this game for 6 years and it looked like they managed to launch the game successfully in South Korea. 3 of 7 mobile is pretty solid. I'm already investing up to 200 hours into the games ever since the launch day. I have seen a lot of changes and improvement for the game ever since the previous Japanese closed beta testing. If you want to watch my old review videos for 3 of 7 mobiles, the link to that videos will be available in the video description below. Other than that, here are the list of things that you can expect from 3 of 7 mobiles. There's no war progression, everything heavily focused on the field content. The main and the sub quests are actually very important by the way since they give your character upgrade material for your skills. No need for all character, you can just focus on one character. The Earth Tower has infinite stage, higher stage equivalent to higher difficulty. The game does have a very simplified upgrades and progression system, which is pretty nice by the way since it's less complicated than the PC version. No SP potion, you do have to do some auto tech from time to time to restore SP. There are certain builds that utilize a ton of SP, so that's probably one of the things that you need to watch out for. You can actually optimize your gears in a way that you can improve the SP regeneration status to spend more skill efficiently. There is an autoplay system. One thing you do have to keep in mind that this is a mobile game and autoplay system is pretty much a built-in for everything. However, I do not recommend using autoplay system for raid dungeon or bossing. Lastly, you can pretty much get everything from the field content. We'll talk about the gadget voucher, the upgrade materials, and many more. Anyway, that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. This is Sadachi once again, and I'll see you all in the next videos. Peace out.